Itachi
No, we
X.
can't
Guys,
hear
is this
Tron,
like
bro.
is this like a tier 2 performance befitting of
Yo,
Shinra
Tron,
right now?
we couldn't hear you, bro. Your shit was like cut out.
Tron, what do you think I'm
so
asking?
obviously you're asking what threshold means index to moral questions. And in this case, yeah, you did. It's on recording. We can go back. So I'll repeat myself one more time, and then I'm just going to go to P2 because you're just like inept, right? So Deji, right? So in moral cases like abortion, right, the evidence includes empirical evidence, maybe fetal development, women's healthcare problems, sociological data, and moral evidence, which is just talks about principle of autonomy, harmony, rights, and personal, right? So the threshold A ensures that the justification requires integration of both kinds of evidence to a level where S can responsibly affirm P. So from there, we should go on to P2 because P1 is just fucking triggered within the domain of the non-contractual. Oh, that was bad. The non-contractualist account.
Okay. That didn't answer the question, but we
that did. You want to conclude? You want to conclude? Oh my God! Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm just going to repeat.
So just be clear. So for P1, right? These are justified from a support from evidentialism. So according to evidentialism, right, belief is justified when it fits one's evidence, representing evidence's credence requiring over A, which simply operationalizes the fit. And that's also just like support from Bayesian epistemology that's like very trivial. So Bayesianism interprets.
Is my mic clear? Hello, is my mic clear?
Is my mic clear? I'm getting stung off by a non-contractualist account because I'm a fucking retard British.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Is it that I'm getting drowned though? Is it that I'm getting drowned or is this mic just really loud?
Alright, I'm gonna go to P2 for you, okay?
Talk to you, no one could hear you, but like normally you're fine.
Yeah, so P2.
Oh, okay. Give me a second.
Is he gonna loud mic me? Like, I don't want Deji loud micing me right now.
Okay, I've turned on my light.
Hold on. A note for P1. Hold on. I'm holding on, bro. I just sent P2, bro. You can go to P2 after whatever the fuck you're doing. So, note for the debate doesn't understand epistemic non-contractualism.
Okay, wait. Give me a second.
Doesn't know what credences are. Hello?
No, hold on. Give me a second. I can't hear you.
Okay, Deji. Is this guy tier 2 chat? Type 1 if he's tier 2.
Yeah, okay, almost.
I told everyone to stop me.
Hello?
Yeah, okay, wait, hold on. Is the second premise, and let me just psychose, okay, is the second premise saying like, okay, somebody should act, or somebody should act as if abortion is okay, specifically
that's
in the
justified
case
by decision theoretic foundation.
Wait, hold on. Specifically in the case that the confidence in that belief, hold on. I haven't even finished the question.
I pre-cog because I'm just so much
better. Yeah, okay. Are you like, is this how the debate go where you just like keep cutting me off? Like,
why'd you say go twice? But P2 is just simple, right? The justification is
going to go, but I just want to get clear.
Go twice.
Okay.
Can I explain P2 and you can shut the fuck up?
Yeah, I was going to ask a question.
All right, good boy. So P2
anyways,
are you good?
The question was simply just like, okay, is premise 2 just stating it is safe for a person to act as if abortion is okay when their confidence in that belief is as high as the level of certainty required by their personal beliefs?
So it's justified due to a decision theoretic foundation. So acting as if P is true incurs cost if P is false. And this decision theory, which I'm invoking there, models rational action by comparing expected utilities. And so the cutoff point for action may be P1 is the credence needed for the expected value of acting on P to be positive. It's also justified through interest-sensitive value. So we'll talk about practical stakes that vary. So if the consequences of being worse or wrong or severe, then B rises. If low stakes B1 is lower, then that reflects a pragmatic encroachment in epistemology, right? And for that point, I'm just invoking Fontel and McGrath-Stanley. And so for the moral fit, since abortion involves ethical commitments like social consequences and personal stakes and stuff like that, the threshold must reflect these interests. So B1 ensures that practical safety isn't just epistemic, but also potential moral. So it's just trivially the case that P2 is justified because rational action requires to exceed the stake-sensitive threshold.
Sorry, Mosako. So specifically, I tried telling you that, I couldn't hear you, but then you kept speaking.
Okay, then I'll just repeat myself because obviously you're not listening. So P2, well, hold on. Can I get moderation on this driller? Wait, can I get moderation on this dumb driller?
Yeah, bro, Shinra.
Wait,
bro, just like,
Shinra, can you, like, I know you're like.
Let Tron.
No, I'm chill, bro. He's like very like weird right now.
Wait, Shinra, bro, just let
P1. Sorry, P2 is justified by a decision theoretic foundation. That's why I'm invoking for P2. So all that is acting as if P should incurs cost if P is false. And so the decision theory I'm invoking there, this models rational action by comparing expected utilities. So the cutoff point for action is B1, which equals the credence needed for the expected value of acting on P to be positive. And that's also justified through an interest-sensitive value, and that talks about practical stakes that vary. So if the consequences of being wrong are severe, then BI rises. Now, if there is low stakes, then BI is lower. So that reflects the pragmatic encroachment in epistemology. And I told you prior that I'm invoking Stanley's account for that. And so the moral fit and how that's relevant to the abortion, because abortion involves ethical commitments like social consequences and personal stakes. So the threshold must reflect those interests. And so the BI there, because I'm pretty sure you can't even read the syntax, ensures that practical safety isn't just epistemic, but also prudential and moral. So P2 is just trivially justified because rational action requires credence to exceed the stake-sensitive threshold. P2 is also just extremely trivial.
Yeah, somebody pinged Shinra. He just
Bro, Tron, bro, he went on deafened because y'all server muted him, so he didn't hear it.
Well, I didn't server mute anyone. If he's not able to track, we can just conclude. I'm just not gonna.
And like he went on deafened, like he purposely said, "I'm not listening to it" because
this guy's too low tier for me. Like this guy, I saw a debate of him debating Archie, and he went on deafened. He went on deafened and started making arguments. And
Can you mute him, please, Prince? Can you mute him, please?
Go on.
Can you mute him, please? Thank you. Also, yeah, man. So I don't disagree with P2 at all, in fact, but the issue is like, I think that the sort of level of certainty that I have, right, given my own personal beliefs, values, and circumstances, right, to say that abortion is morally justified or morally unjustified, they're very low, right? So, in fact, I don't think I need to be very certain about whether or not abortion is like morally justified, right, or not, for me to act as if it's that way. But I don't disagree with P2 at all. So, what's P3?
Could you repeat that last part? Because I didn't like your Deji accent. So you said the level of certainty I have given my personal right. Chill out. Whoa, what's wrong? Is this rhetorical chat? But anyways, you said the level of certainty I have given my personal beliefs and circumstances to say it's normally justified or unjustified is there. I don't need to act upon that to be certainty, and I don't need to be justified to act. Can you make that coherent for everyone in the fucking call right now?
Okay, Prince, can you hear him again, please? Can you hear him again, please? Thank you, if that's possible. Okay, yeah, just want to circle back. So to be completely clear, I don't particularly disagree with Moscow. I don't particularly disagree with P2. But it's unclear whenever you say that, whenever you say that it is practically safe for that person to act in that specific way. What do you mean whenever you say safe for one? But two, I'm still unclear because I asked you the question about premise one that you didn't tell me. So initially you said that there was some fixed threshold that needs to be met for you to act in these specific sort of ways. And then I asked you, what is the threshold? And then you kept telling me what a threshold was when I was asking you what the threshold was for this specific topic, right? And especially in this specific case. And then you didn't tell me anything, right? You just kept repeating back to me what a threshold was, it was really awkward. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, okay, so this guy is retarded. So for P1, I don't know if he was listening, but the threshold is going to be trivial within the framework of epistemic justification, right? This argument revolves around a non-contractualist account of epistemic justification, right? So P1 is extremely trivial because the threshold here just means it's just justified by combining Bayesian thresholds with evidentialist proposition proportionally and reliabilist safety, okay? And all that means is that a belief formed as a credence over A would be too risky or error prone, and so the threshold ensures belief is safe enough to count as justified. And that's just also justified by evidentialist support. So in evidentialism, they say a justified belief equals a belief proportion to evidence, requiring evidence. Over A ensures proportionally is satisfied. Okay, that is super trivial. Okay, we're just talking about epistemic and Bayesian thresholds. So I'm very, very, very confused on why you're asking for something so simple. So for P2, all I said is how that ties into the argument is because since abortion involves ethical commitments and social consequences and personal stakes, the threshold must reflect those interests, you fucking retard. And that ensures that the practical safety isn't just epistemic, but also prudential and moral, right? So that's how it ties into the fucking argument. Now, for the other dumb shit you said I don't need justification to act because you said prior that the level of certainty that you have given your personal beliefs and circumstances to say is normally justified or unjustified is low, and then you don't need to act on that certainty, and I don't need to be justified in the act. That's what you said. But if you act without justification, your actions epistemically indistinguishable. Oh my god, that was bad. Indistinguishable from guessing. So, for example, Someone could say flipping a coin to decide whether abortion is morally permissible doesn't make your act rational, it just makes it arbitrary. And so when we invoke these epistemic norms that exist precisely to distinguish responsible beliefs from like caprice, that doesn't entail that while certainty isn't required, some justification is required to prevent action from being irrational or reckless. And so for the prudential point I was talking about, right, it's just the case trivially that stakes demand justification. So acting without justification disregards your own interests and risks like severe error. So if you're wrong about permissibility, right, and the consequences, maybe like moral harm, guilt, or social fallout, they are going to be very significant. So the justification is a safeguard that allows your actions to align with your long-term interests and values. And that just invokes decision theory. And so for P3, because P1 and P2 is so fucking trivial, all P3 is that S knows that abortion is morally permissible, P, if and only if P is true. So S has sufficient epistemic justification for P, and 3 is practically safe for S to act as if P is true given S's actual interest.
Did he clock your teeth?
Wait, hold on. Is it muted?
Who?
Tron.
Yes, it is muted. It is muted. Yes.
Oh, okay. It isn't muted yet. Can we mute him, please? Thank you.
I'm trying to find it.
Somali.
My bad.
Yo.
All right, you can go on.
Okay, finally, he's muted. Look, okay. One, again, the claim, and I don't know why you keep trying to misrepresent what I'm saying, especially when like it isn't very difficult to understand. So I did not say specifically that you do not need justification in order to act in specific ways. Specifically, premise 2 states that you should act in a specific way if and only if, right, your confidence in your belief, right, is as high as the level of certainty in which you have, right, in accordance with your personal interests, values, or circumstances. All I was saying, right, is that the level of certainty that I need to have to say things like abortion is morally unjustified, right, or to say abortion is morally justified is really low. I don't think I need to be extremely certain, right, that a clump of cells in a woman's body, right, I don't need to be extremely certain about the facts about it, for example, right, for me to say that abortion is like morally justified, right. So again, you haven't given me any sort of motivation as to why I should like raise or change the sort of threshold that I have, right, for certainty required, right. So I can say, for example, okay, well, Jared looked at me wrong today. I also debated Bridge on abortion, and Bridge was mildly convincing, and Jared slapped my butt, right, and because of that, that's already met the sort of level of certainty that I have, right, for example. And you haven't given me any sort of reason. There isn't any sort of social fallout that you've pointed. Okay, there hasn't been any sort of social fallout that you've pointed at. There hasn't been any sort of significant negative consequences, right, that you've offered to me that would need me to raise the sort of threshold that I have, right, or the sort of level of certainty I've required, right, for me to hold these specific beliefs, right. Again, and the first question, I'm going to repeat it slowly for you. What is the threshold, not what is a threshold? So whenever you mention Bayesian thresholds, right, Bayesian reliabilist ontological parsimony, I don't care about any of those, because I'm asking about what is the threshold in this specific context, right. And the third premise, let me just look at it again. A person knows that abortion is okay, if and only if it's really okay. A person knows that abortion is okay if it's really okay. They have a good enough reason to believe it, and it is safe for them to act in that belief given their situation or desires. That's fine. I don't care. But I don't know why I would grant the third.
Yeah, nigga named Shin.
Okay, but I don't know why I'd grant the third part. Like, so do you think that, for example, I don't know, if like Jaro and I were in Auschwitz or something, Jaro like looks up to me and he says, oh yeah, I know that abortion is wrong. I know that the Holocaust is wrong, but say it is not safe for him to act on the belief, right, that abortion is wrong, that he does not truly know that the Holocaust is wrong. That sounds pretty confused. I don't know why we'd add the third bit. But as for the first and second bit, that's completely fine. I don't care for it. But yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
All right, very high tier interlocutor. So a few clarifications, right? When you say I don't need to be highly certain to judge abortion is justified or unjustified, and I can act on low certainty, that's just not going to be P2, okay? So to re-clarify P2 isn't about whether you can form a judgment with low confidence. Of course you can, you fucking retard. It's about whether the judgment amounts to practically safe knowledge-guided action. So the claim when the stakes are high, ethical, social, or personal, oh my god, that was bad. The decision threshold B1 rises because the cost of being wrong is significant. And the reason why low certainty isn't enough is just because of error costs, you fucking idiot. So abortion isn't a trivial decision, right? If you judge it as morally permissible with very low certainty and you're wrong, you may risk severe moral error. So high stakes domains require higher thresholds for safe action. Just as you wouldn't bet your life savings on like a coin toss with 51% odds on you fucking a tranny. So you shouldn't act on the moral claims at very low credence, right? And it also talks about the practical encroachment. So in epistemology, after Gettier, they emphasize that the knowledge is sensitive to practical states. So when interests are weighty, right, justification demands higher certainty. So saying low certainty is enough ignores how high-stake decisions alter rational standards. And so the moral responsibility here is judging with low certainty weakens accountability. So if you find out later that you were wrong, you can't excuse it by saying I wasn't very sure. And so the responsibility presupposes that decisions were made on sufficiently strong grounds. And you're also making asymmetry mistakes, okay? Because with abortion, the consequences of error isn't like symmetrical at all. So if abortion is actually impermissible, but you acted permissively, the cost is morally grave. But if it's permissible and you acted cautiously, the cost is lower. And so that asymmetry raises the B lower certainty, right? Not this lower certainty, but it raises the BI. So lower certainty cannot be sufficient in asymmetric domains. I want you to respond to that after these next points. And for the analogy, let's say like you imagine like a doctor, right, prescribing a risky treatment. Like saying, I don't have to be very certain it will help, maybe like a 20% confidence or credence is fine, would be reckless. But the higher the stakes, maybe like life, health, and moral wrongness, the higher the certainty demanded for safe action. And so rejecting P2 by appealing to a low certainty sufficiency collapses the distinction between acting responsibly and acting recklessly. So the epistemic justification A may allow like low thresholds in some cases, maybe like causal guesses, but the practical safety substantiated in BI relies on higher certainty and high stake moral context like abortion. So it's just going to be the case trivially that P2 holds and you do not need high credence for abortion judgments to be practically safe, even if psychologically you can act on less. And for the other shit you said,
contextualism.
Can you shut the fuck up?
Oh God! Like
so for the other shit you said, right? We're just gonna have to raise the threshold, right? And doing so would not have consequences. So even if they're not immediately negative for you personally, raising or lowering the threshold alters your risk exposure. And what I mean there is that a lower threshold means you can act on a weaker evidence. So increasing that chance of moral or practical error. And so the consequences isn't always like material harm, but reputational, rational, or moral responsibility. And so my epistemic standards is that if you let yourself adopt beliefs on the very weak grounds, then you degrade the reliability of your belief forming practices. And that has a downstream cost. Maybe you'll like misclassify other high stakes or other issues in the same way. And so given that, my accountability would be to say that moral judgments are isolated. So saying abortion is morally justified or unjustified in the way that you did and acting on low confidence would weaken your credibility when you present reasons to others. And so the social or moral consequence is going to be impacted as well, even if you don't feel like immediate personal cost. And the relevant threshold I'm talking about is just not going to be arbitrary, like at all. I don't know why you said that, because the epistemic threshold A is just going to be like a minimal bar for a justified belief, like e.g. 0.7 confidence, and that applies across all domains. And there's going to be a decision threshold, which I already elaborated prior, is going to be higher within this context, which you're asking for. And that means the context sets to the bar tied to stakes. So like in abortion, stakes are moral, personal, and social, blah, 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 like shit like that. But that pushes B upwards, maybe to 0.9 or more, because the cost of error is very high. So the relevant threshold here is going to be this, all right? Hopefully you can understand the syntax I'm going to type out. And so that means whichever is stricter in this situation. And to respond to your fucking dumbass claim about no consequences, right? In normative consequence, if you lower BI, you risk calling someone something justified, when it isn't. And that undermines your responsible moral reasoning. There's also going to be a practical consequence. So even if you feel no direct harm, you're modeling a lax standard. So when extended, that can justify reckless action in high stakes context, maybe medicine, law, or ethics. And there's also going to be an epistemic consequence. And that just means that knowledge claims about, like, they become unstable. So if you accept low thresholds, then you will often believe falsity, violating the aim of beliefs. So even if you feel no immediate consequence, Deji, there are hidden epistemic, moral, and pragmatic consequences to lowering the threshold which would be increased error, weakened accountability, degraded reliability, and the relevant threshold is not arbitrary in this context because it's set by the stakes of moral error, which are high. So P2 stands as well, like low thresholds are not sufficient high stake moral demands like abortion. And to the other dumb shit you said, you fucking retarded low tier. For P3, on what grounds would you reject the second part of it? Was a stutter? My fault.
Nah, he was a dick riding, bro. Keep going, bro.
Okay, yeah, that kind of hurt my feelings.
Yeah, dumbass.
And for P3, I remember this British jeweler, Deji, saying he rejected the other part of P3, but that's really dumb because it establishes the truth condition and the epistemic justification condition as well as the practical safety condition. So when we talk about the truth condition for P3, that just means knowledge requires truth. So if P were false, even perfect justification would not amount to like knowledge. Maybe like a classic lesson from Gallier that can appeal to there. So when applied to abortion, if abortion is not in fact morally permissible, then no one can know it's permissible. At best, like they have a justified but false belief. And that's literally analytic because knowledge is just knowing something. And so knowing something false is just going to be incoherent. And for the epistemic justification condition, that's very simple, right? Like it's necessary for P2 because without sufficient justification, the belief may be like a lucky guess. A justification ensures that the belief is tethered to evidence and reasoning, not on whim. So when applied to this specific dialogue, you fucking retard. To claim knowledge about abortion's permissibility, S must base their belief on empirical evidence, maybe about health, autonomy, outcomes, and moral reasonings, right? Duties, consequences. And that literally just ties to the Lockean Bayesian view. So justification corresponds to credence. A. And for the practical safety condition, because for some odd reason, you said you rejected the other part of P3 and this was like the last part of it. The reason why that's needed is because even true justified beliefs can fail to account as knowledge. So if they're too fragile or unsafe to act on, post-Gettier insight, knowledge should be stable enough to guide rational action in one's actual interests. And how that's applied to abortion is that if S's interest includes serious moral responsibility and social consequences, they must have a credence over BI to safely act on the belief. Otherwise, the belief is too risky to guide action. And that's just fucking trivial as well, because that reflects the pragmatic encroachment knowledge, which just holds that justification, they hold epistemic, not epistemic, but knowledge isn't just epistemic, Jesus fucking Christ, but also action sensitive when high stakes are involved. So without these, like knowledge collapses into lucky falsehood. So it's like very fucking simple.
All right, word.
That shit was simple. I ain't gonna lie. Like, yo, Shinra, bro, did you track that, bro?
Oh God, he didn't track that.
No, I had to respond.
This nigga rage quitted. What the fuck? I mean, EZW.
No, he's coming back. No, I got this. Guys. I got this. Who's the better femboy? Sob for Haram, Skull for Prince. I'm not gonna lie, high kick mob, you will be banned after this debate. Anyways, let Shinra get back in here.
That wasn't me. I didn't say anything, so go ahead and apologize in front of the entire VC for being a retard and being dyslexic.
It's a fake screenshot, don't ban him. It's fake.
I'm sorry, King.
All right, so can we like get Shinra in the voice chat, or is like
Yo, Shinra, stop wanting retard.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Shinra's back in the voice chat. All right, Shinra, it's your time to speak. I'm gonna put Tron on mute. Bam. Say what you need to say.
Be the very best. Sorry. Wow.
Yeah, you didn't. You were not singing. On God, you just started singing for 2 seconds just so when
you not know Pokemon like that.
No. Wait. Why you laughing, bro? Why you laughing? Did he extend a little girl, bro? Like he's over for you, bro. Like stop talking. Yeah. Pipe down, bro. Pipe down. Yeah, sure. Yo. Okay, it's crazy actually because immediately he started speaking, I left the VC, and then like I come back like 5 or 6 times and he's still speaking. It's actually so weird. Oh my goodness, my bad, bro. I'm never going front. I wasn't even listening. Oh, it's long. Yo, can you repeat what you said, please? Thank you. We didn't hear you.
No, just respond to what you thought we heard, bro. I'm not trying to hear another 10-minute yap session, bro. So just please respond.
Okay. So is it just me? Thought it was 10 minutes long.
just respond.
It's fine, bro. I won't hear.
No, just respond. No,
Repeat yourself, Tron.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Tron. Okay, where's Tron? Can somebody answer me, Tron? I can't find him. Tron, speak in the chat.
Yeah.
Tron, ping me, Tron. And then I'm on mobile, so I can find you.
Tron.
Yeah, you're not, bro. Is Tron? Okay, hold on, bro. Let me just find Tron myself.
Bro, he typed in the chat, bro. He pinged you, bro. This nigga's stupid.
Yeah, I'm not repeating that shit. Brizon, you want to engage with the argument? Yo, this nigga's tripping, bro. This nigga just left the call. Hell no. Brizon, I remember you asking for something.
No. Wait, why'd you run?
I'll just take the concession. You left the call. You left the call 3 times.
Repeat what
you left the call 3 times.
No.
All right. Put him on mute. He was lagging. All right.
Yeah.
Put him on mute. This is gonna be like a 10-minute lecture, like on non-contractualist epistemology and fucking. Yeah, is he on mute?
I don't want to hear this, bro.
Perfect, nigga.
Okay, I didn't have a question about the argument.
Okay, shut up, Brizon. Hold on, let me rape your daddy real quick. Okay. So Deji, I'm gonna repeat this one more time. So to clarify P2, right?
Okay,
P2 isn't about, because prior you said, I'm saying that the level of certainty that I need to have to say abortion is morally unjustified or unjustified is extremely low. And I don't need extremely certain about a fact that to say it's morally justified. So I clarified P2. I'm not sure if you stayed in the VC while I clarified P2. Wait, Rizwan, can you mic up real quick? Was he in VC when I clarified P2?
Yeah.
Okay,
How am I supposed to know, bro?
You don't know? Okay.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do it anyway. So P2 isn't about whether you can form a judgment with low confidence. Of course you can. It's very trivial. It's about whether the judgment amounts to practically safe knowledge guided action because he mistracked P2. So the claim is just when the stakes are high, maybe like ethical, social, or personal, the decision threshold B rises because the cost of being wrong is significant. And so why the low certainty that Shinra brought up, or aka Deji brought up, isn't enough is because one, error cost, right? Abortion isn't a trivial decision. Like if you judge it's morally permissible with very low certainty and you're wrong, you may risk like severe moral error. And that's just the case, right? Because like high stakes domains require higher thresholds for safe action, just as you wouldn't bet your life savings on a coin toss with like 50% odds, and you shouldn't act on moral claims with very low credence. It's trivial. And we also talked about the practical encroachment, right? So in epistemology, directly quoting Gettier, right? They emphasize that knowledge is sensitive to practical stakes, right? So when interests are weighty, right, justification demands higher certainty. So saying low certainty is enough ignores how stakes decisions alter rational standards. And so the moral responsibility here that I'm invoking is just when judging with low certainty, right, that's just going to weaken the accountability. So if you later find out you're wrong, you can excuse it by saying, I wasn't very sure. And so the responsibility presupposes that decisions were made on sufficiently strong grounds. And so there's going to be asymmetry and mistakes that abortion brought up. So with abortion, right, the consequences of error aren't asymmetrical. So if abortion is actually impermissible, but you acted permissibly, then the cost is morally grave. But if it's permissible and you acted cautiously, right, the cost is lower. So that asymmetry raises B1, and the low certainty cannot be sufficient in asymmetric domains. So take for analogy, imagine the doctor, imagine Single Phoenix prescribing a risky treatment, right? So saying, I don't need to be very certain it will help. Maybe 20% confidence is fine, right? For his transgender surgery, right? That would be reckless. But the higher stakes, maybe the life, health, moral wrongness, the higher the certainty demanded for, that's going to be like the higher certainty demanded for the safe action. So rejecting P2 by appealing to like low certainty sufficiency collapses the distinction between acting responsibly and acting recklessly, right? So the epistemic justification A may allow low thresholds in some cases, maybe causal guesses, that's fine, I can grant that. But practical safety, maybe for B1, rightly demands higher certainty and high stakes moral context like abortion. So P2 is trivially just going to hold because you do need high credence for abortion judgments to be practically safe, even psychologically, you act on less. And so for the other dumb shit he said, it's a lot of confusion. So he said, there are no negative consequences for me to raise the threshold, so why shouldn't I keep it low? And what's the relevant threshold here? To answer this, I told him that raising the threshold does not have consequences, so even if they're not immediately negative for you personally, Shinra, raising or lowering the threshold alters your risk exposure, for one. And that just means the lower threshold means you act on weaker evidence, so increasing the chance of moral or practical error, right? And the consequence isn't always like material harm, but reputational, rational, or moral responsibility. And there's also epistemic standards. So if you let yourself adopt beliefs on very weak grounds, maybe Shinra beating Noism, right? You degrade the reliability of your belief forming practices, and that has a downstream cost. Maybe you'll misclassify other high stakes issues in some way. And so we'd also have to talk about your accountability. All that means is that moral judgments are isolated. So saying abortion is morally justified / unjustified at low confidence weakens your credibility when you present reasons to others, right? And that is a social / moral consequence. Even if you don't feel like an immediate personal cost, that's just going to be the case. And so why the relevant threshold isn't going to be arbitrary is because, one, when we talk about the epistemic threshold A, that means a minimal bar for justified belief, maybe like something like 0.7 confidence that applies across domains. And we'd also have to talk about the decision threshold for BI, and that just means the context sensitive bar tied to the stakes. So in abortion, stakes are moral, like in this context, what you begged for, you fucking dumb British fuck. It's just gonna be that stakes are moral, personal, and social. So the pushes my pussy into your, okay, I'm gonna stop. That pushes BI upwards, maybe like to 0.9 or more, because the cost of error is very high. So the relevant threshold here is just the max A, given the BI, which is stricter in the situation. So that answers his question before. And so to address the no consequence claim that he made, there's going to be normative consequences, practical consequences, and epistemic consequences. So for the normative consequence, if you lower BI, right, you risk calling something justified when it isn't. So that just undermines responsible moral reasoning. And for the practical consequences, even if you feel no direct harm, maybe raping Shinra's fucking mom, right? Me fucking his mom in the asshole and stretching her pussy out. You're modeling a lax standard. So when extended, this could justify reckless action in high stakes context, maybe medicine, law, ethics, and there's going to be an epistemic consequence, right? So knowledge claims, they become unstable. So if you accept low thresholds, right, what you said earlier, then you will often believe falsely violating the aim of belief. So even if you feel no immediate consequence, right, there are hidden epistemic, moral, and pragmatic consequences to lowering the threshold, right, which would be increased error, weakened accountability, degraded reliability, and the relevant threshold just is not going to be arbitrary because in this context, it is set by the stakes of moral error, which are high. So P2 stands because low thresholds are not sufficient in high stakes moral domains like abortion. Now, P3, right, because he said he doesn't agree with the third part of P3, right? All P3 is talking about is the truth conditions, the epistemic justification conditions, and the practical safety conditions, right? I don't know why he put the third part of P3 into question because it's extremely trivial, right? It just shows his lack of knowledge on the fucking subject matter, right? So the truth condition is there is because knowledge requires truth, right? So if P were false, even perfect justification would not amount to knowledge, right? And how that's applied to abortion, if abortion is in fact morally permissible, is not in fact morally permissible, sorry, then no one can know it is permissible. Like, so at best, they have a justified but false belief. And that's just analytic to knowledge because knowing something false is just incoherent. And for the epistemic justification condition, the reason why that's needed is because without justification, well, sufficient justification, a belief is literally going to be reduced to a lucky guess. So the justification ensures that the belief is tethered to evidence and reasoning and not a whim. And how that's applied to abortion is because to claim knowledge about abortion's permissibility, S must base their belief on empirical evidence, maybe about health, autonomy, or outcomes and moral reasoning, maybe like rights, duty, and consequences. And that just ties to the lock-in Bayesian view that justification corresponds to credence. It's very trivial. For the third part, for some reason, why he disagreed with this, right? Bro just dropped the reductive. Okay, let me wrap this up because I don't know why I have to drop it like reductive to anything. All right. The reason why the practical safety condition is needed is because even true justified beliefs can fail to account as knowledge. Like if they're too fragile or unsafe to act on. And that's just like invoking the post-Gator insight view, which knowledge should be stable enough to guide rational action in one's actual interests. So how that's applied to abortion is that if S's interest includes serious moral responsibility and social consequences, they must have a credence over BI to safely act on the belief. Otherwise, the belief is too risky to guide action. And that's just supported by pragmatic encroachment, which just holds knowledge isn't just epistemic, but action like sensitive when high stakes are involved. And so without like I and the third bracket in P3, then like knowledge collapses into like lucky falsehood, and also collapses to blind guessing, and it collapses into fragile belief, too weak to ground responsible action, and therefore all three conditions are jointly necessary for knowledge or moral responsibility. So that basically responds to everything he said.
All right, Shinra, I'm on mute you, bro. Anything you need to say? If you didn't track, which I don't think you did, just conclude. You might have to make him repeat again.
I'm not repeating it. If you didn't track anything, we can conclude.
I just need the formal argument for P2 and P3 for one, and then I also need you to
we accepted P2 and P3.
Hold on. I need you to lay out P4 if there's a P4 or the conclusion, and then I need you to say the inference rule. Just go ahead and do all of that. Thank you.
I think word. Yeah, Tron. Yeah, Tron. Yo, where's the P4, buddy? Where's the conclusion?
All right. So there's no responses to any of the prior arguments. Okay, I can give you a formal argument to P2 and P3. You're asking for a formal argument for P2 and P3, even though you granted P2 and P3. Very bad optics there, but yeah, I can give you the argument for P2 and P3.
Let's just begin the countdown at 1, by the way.
Countdown. Fuck the countdown. All right.
No,
Deji, this is not like your Alex Wasabi fight, okay? This is not your Alex Wasabi fight where we have a countdown and shit, okay? Okay, so okay. This is gonna take 20 minutes.
So Shinra, man, how you doing about this debate, bro? You feel like you won, bro?
He won. He did so well here.
So basically, when he said blah 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 blah, like, look, he's really convincing stuff. He spoke for shut your mouth. He spoke for 7 minutes, and he spoke for 7 minutes. It's really convincing stuff. And shut up. He spoke for 7 minutes.
I'm sorry,
and, I wasn't really tracking, and
was that cold?
I love this mother guy, bro. But yeah. I wasn't really tracking, so I just need him to repeat himself, right?
I already repeated myself. I repeated myself twice, Shinra. I repeated myself twice for you didn't track anything, bro.
I also need him to give the formal arguments for P2, P3, and P4, and the conclusion, please. Thank you.
Okay, I got you. You can go on mute, bro. So I guess he's not granting P2 and P3 anymore. So I'm gonna give him the formal argument.
No. I think on those points.
Now he wants a formal argument for P3, and so first off, I'm gonna give you the conclusion right here. So I'm gonna give you P4.
Do you have the argument? I type down.
Yeah, P4, and then the conclusion, and then I'm gonna give the formal argument for P2 and P3 and formalize it. Make it like logically valid because. This is gonna take a long ass fucking time, bro.
For me till I can't stop, for me till I grow up.
Obviously, because Shinra was trolling, or he just
no. Shinra is dog shit. But like
the Discord eyes, look me in the Discord eyes. I'm being completely serious in this conversation. Okay, thank you.
You can't be serious with that British voice, my nigga.
Gosh, oh my goodness, get it? Because you're supposed to laugh because he called me British.
You seem awkward when you're doing it. This is awkward.
Yeah, exactly. It's awkward. You used the same joke 5 times, bro.
This guy's apparently tier 2, chat.
You've spoken for 5 minutes, bro. I promise you're being laughed at.
Yo, I was responding to everything, bro. I had to make it like I had to make it like a.
We believe you, bro. We believe you.
Yo, Deji, what's going on, Deji? I had to make it like an epistemology class because you're retarded, but.
Yeah, bro. All of us are confused, bro. You just needed 5 minutes.
No, who's all of us?
Everything you have to say. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, who is all of us? I mean, even Prince and Kelvin.
Yeah. Who's all of us? Yeah, guys. Who's all of us? Yeah. Cheers. Like, God's just a geek, bro. Like, you get shoved in lockers at school.
Yeah.
No, wait, Rizan, we need to hear this.
Bro, can you niggas stop exposing me in general, bro? You fucking weirdos, bro. Carl, you timed out. You fucking weirdo, bro. What's wrong with you? Exposing me.
I'm gonna put it in predicate form for you, just okay? Just for
predicate form.
Okay. Predicate form. Yeah, hey, let's get it, bro. ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
They exposed
The
me.
big GPT.
There you go.
Predicate form.
Bro, shut up. Shut up. Shut up, Rizhan. Shut up.
Wait, Tron,
Rizhan-
do you
Rizhan's
know what
so good, bro.
do you know what
Rizhan,
the
you're so
quantifier
good. Shut the fuck up.
Wait, do you know what the
Shut fuck
symbol
up.
is for?
You're not saving your boyfriend, bro.
I'm not even. I'm just asking.
I promise you, I promise you.
P3.
I'm just genuinely actually trying to understand what you're saying.
I can put in that.
Do you even know what second order quantifier logic is?
Bro,
By the way, this nigga is local muted, by the way.
Who, Rizhan?
Wait, Tron, can you stream your screen?
Yes. Hell yes.
Can you stream like the screen?
Rizhan. I don't local mute in the locker days like you.
Can you please stream your screen? Like stream.
That was so cringe, nigga. That was so fucking cringe, nigga.
Predicate logic. Okay. Let's see this guy type out the argument in predicate logic, right? Like this guy's clearly not using ChatGPT to translate it from natural language to predicate logic.
What are you talking about?
Yo, Rizhan's not real, bro. That nigga is muted, bro.
Why you?
Like you didn't hear what he said. He's local muted. What the hell? What's he laughing at?
He's not right because I know
Why's he
he's saying
laughing now?
some
Like,
shit, bro.
yo, can I say, bro? What's wrong with this guy? Why are you laughing? There's nothing funny.
Alrighty.
Yo, Shinra, lock in, bro.
On God.
Wait, did he
this
send
nigga's
the
dog
argument?
shit. Yeah, I'm gonna send the argument for P2 and P3. Like, yeah.
This is why.
Don't worry.
And subject S has
This is
sufficient
very trivial,
epistemic.
bro. Holy shit.
In fact, S is confidence in P. Also called. Therefore, abortion is really permissible.
Yeah, is this rage bait, bro? Are you like trolling or something, bro?
Hey, Rally?
No, fucking Shinra, bro. Shinra.
Holy shit.
Bro.
That nigga be D1. D1
This
rage bait.
has to be rage bait. Wait, Prince, can you collect the while I'm doing this? Can you collect the Pyrex?
I got one.
It shouldn't take you that long to type out an argument.
Save the
predicate
prior one real
logic,
quick,
like, if you've been doing this for a while.
Wait, you mean this one?
Confused. Why is he sending a pro-choice argument when I'm defending pro-choice?
Wait, chill, bro.
The thing is, you can't even type out his argument in predicate logic
I'm not
because
gonna
you don't
lie.
even use
Yo,
any
Riz,
predicate logic.
you're serving me for dick riding. Anyways, when you say like, wait,
He
you mean
disagrees
this
with
right
it. Shinra accepted the argument is valid and the premises are true. He just disagrees with the conclusion. So why is he asking me, yo, Yanni? Why is he asking me for P2 and P3? Why is he asking me to give? He's asking me for a valid argument for P2 and P3. So,
oh my god,
bro, he
extremely
already
awkward.
agreed to the premises, bro.
Anyways,
yeah, he agrees to him, but he's asking for an argument for P2 and P3.
He's not asking for any argument.
Wait, Tron, do you want me to say this rec right here?
Bro. Yeah, say the argument for conclusion, bro.
I'm gonna save this rec. I'm gonna send it to God's Tron.
Bro,
Gotcha,
Mercury, that's the location of the KFC. That's not where I live.
Alright, Tron DMs.
Alright, cool.
The KFC is an hour away from where I am.
And the second one.
Thank you so
It's
much.
crazy because guys travel an hour.
Don't talk to me like that. I'm a minor.
Hey guys, can we unmute Mono and Tabernacle?
Yeah.
Wait, you want? I don't even take the debate right now. I might have to unmute him. Next is
yeah, mute Hail Shiki too. I do love Hail Shiki.
No, I don't even think.
Yep.
Cool. When they get back to debating, I'm gonna mute everybody back. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, cool. So if P is true, this is for P2. Then the benefit of Act P exceeds the benefit of refuse P. Now, if P is false, then the benefit of refuse P exceeds the benefit of Act P. Right. So that is the inference rule for the practical safety in P2. Right. It's based off the deontic, not the deontic, but the decision theoretic reasoning. So
what did you say the argument?
That's the inference rule for practical safety. So that rule captures the idea that acting as if a proposition P, maybe abortion is permissible, is safe when your confidence in P meets or exceeds the threshold. Maybe BI, which depends on your interest I.
Just to give the formal argument.
Wait, and by the way, I never told you I was advocating for pro-life like the entire time. I said I was going to advocate.
Wait,
hold on.
I just want to get clear. What's the formal argument for P1 for the argument for P2?
Oh, you want? Okay, what's the formal argument for P be the proposition in question? Abortion is permissible.
Yeah, P1, bro. You got it.
Okay, yeah. So, do you know what deontic theoretic reasoning is? Like the type of deontic theoretic reasoning I'm invoking here for practical safety?
Start asking me questions, bro. Give the formal argument.
Okay, yeah. Do you know what it is? Like, can you?
Just give me the formal argument, man.
Wait, stop dodging the question. Do you know what it is? This nigga said troll. No, we're not doing the script shit. We're not doing the script shit. Yeah, because it's analytic. That's why I'm asking if you know what it is.
Is the script asking for an argument?
Yeah, so if proposition P, e.g. abortion is permissible, is true, then the benefit of acting as if P is true, maybe none of that is P, B, is greater than the benefit of refusing to act as if P is true.
Okay.
Right. Do you want an argument for that?
Is that P1 of the argument for P2 of the argument?
Yeah, that's for the practicals. The only relevant argument I'm talking about here is the practical safety one. The inference for the practical safety.
Yeah, I just want to know. So, like, we have P2.
Wait, do you want P2?
I want to know what premise one of the argument for P2 is.
Okay, can you tell me what P2 was?
The argument that you're right, idiot boy.
Yeah. Wait, the argument for what?
The argument. Look, P2 was.
Wait. What's P2? What do you think P2 is? What do you think P2 is?
Yeah, I'm repeating it to you. So
okay,
it is practically safe for somebody to act as though abortion is morally permissible, given that their actual interests, right, which include ethical commitments, social consequences, and personal stakes, right, if and only if S's confidence in P meets the decision threshold, right, to tell them about these interests.
Wonderful. So that just shows your lack of tracking, because that is not for the justification I provided for P3. What I just laid out, wait, hold on. Okay.
As long as he's not tracking.
I'm not tracking. Chat, I'm not tracking, chat.
Bro, why are you begging it, bro? Stop asking chat, bro. Like, I'm literally begging it. This is valid. Literally, do you need the validation that bad, bro? Like, what's going on with you? Guy, like, you mentioned how many times now?
Okay, so apparently, okay, so I just laid out the justification for P3, the formalized argument of P3 in the VC, so he's asking for P2 now. So I'm just going to take the justification for P3 as not being addressed.
Who are you
so I'm just going to go to P2.
Who are you speaking to?
I'm speaking to Deji, bro. But
okay, Deji is in the VC. Who are you
so let S, right? Let S be the agent, right? So maybe Shinra's mom, I'm fucking. You put my dick.
I get it.
Yeah, get it, because are you gonna respond to the argument for P2 for practical safety?
Shinra, you were ass. Shut your bitch ass up.
He's so dog shit, bro.
Exactly, Shinra.
He's genuinely so ass.
Boo, Shinra, boo.
I'm just crazy, bro. And he's fake laughing too. Is that rhetoric chat?
Free's actually crazy.
He's better than you on the run. Okay, so are you gonna respond to the practical safety inference, or you want to conclude?
Give me a second.
Yeah, so for the sake of the recording and for the sake of niggas that are over like 50 IQ, right? Hopefully, for P2, that just talks about the practical safety. Now he's asking me for an inferential or the formalized argument for P2, which I just gave, and so
what's the formalized argument for premise one for the argument for P2?
The premise one for the argument of P2. So you're not asking for P2 anymore, but P1. P1's analytic, or the first argument.
No, that's not what I'm asking you. So. Look, there's a second premise, right?
There's a second premise. Yes? Yeah, there's a second premise, Deji. I know there's a second premise. I just gave you the inference rule for the practical. Hold on, wait, Deji. I just gave you the practical safety inference rule in VC, right?
Why is he thinking? Yo, why is he thinking already? Yes or no?
Yeah,
is there a second premise?
Yeah, dude. So P2, right,
now,
is the inference rule for the practical safety.
Is there an argument for the second premise?
Okay.
Is there an argument for the second premise? I just want yes or no.
Yeah. So this is very simple.
Is there an argument for that argument for premise 2?
I got you, bro.
Thank you.
This nigga is a troll.
Yeah, I feel like it's time to conclude, guys. It might be time to conclude.
Okay.
Bro.
Boom.
I should conclude. I'm not gonna hold.
He's so fucking. This guy is ass. Holy shit.
He didn't.
I don't think he tracked it. I don't think he felt that.
This nigga is so dog shit, bro.
He did.
Yeah.
Nigga said, "Oh, put the premise 2 with the P2. Put the P1 in the P2."
But it's getting like really bad. Where
Just say argument 2 for P1, bro.
He made me repeat myself, and it took like a 10 minute. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's for P2, right?
No comment.
All right. I just took like 5 minutes writing this down. Okay. So the safe act P. Good one. Look, I'm losing confidence every other second I am on the stage. All right.
We don't take the stage.
I'm judgy. Here we go. All right, so the inference rule there is just presented as a biconditional to reflect the if and only if. In P2, wait, shut up, retard, shut up. However, for practical use, right, the inference rules are often stated as implications, right? So there's the biconditional. I mean, do you want the rule formalization?
Wait, give me a second. What is Yanni talking about?
Yeah, are you able? Oh my God, yo, let's conclude, bro. Yeah, let's conclude.
I don't need the argument for I. Just like fill down.
This nigga Shinra is so ass. You want an argument for I?
This nigga so buns.
That's analytic.
Dark shit.
Nigga ass.
Did you hear that? Okay, we can conclude. I responded to I, bro.
No comment.
You're ass.
Let's conclude. Let's conclude.
Yeah, just give me the argument for the argument for I, please.
Okay, yeah, I got you, bro. Yeah, let's conclude, bro. I just gave it a VC.
Hold on. That isn't an argument.
Wow.
That isn't an argument. I grant that you don't think it's an argument. You want to conclude?
No. Well, that is what I said. But just having an 9-year-old.
Look, Shinra, look. We can conclude, bro. I'm sure like your syndicate thinks you won. Look, we can conclude, bro. Come on.
Dog shit ass British syndicate.
These niggas are all ass.
These niggas are fucking retarded, bro. These fucking.
We're the argument for P2.
Yanni, shut your bitch ass up. Yo, Yanni, look at you. Yanni, we E-sex, nigga. Why you betraying me, bro? You said if I bust inside of that, you're gonna betray.
What the fuck?
No, it's crazy. It's crazy because Yanni isn't even your friend, bro. Like Yanni.
No, he's my friend. No, yo, Yanni, are you my friend, bro? Yanni, are we friends, bro?
100, bro. 100, nigga. Fuck Shinra, bro.
See, nigga.
Everyone look in chat. Fuck Shinra, bro.
Yo, Yanni. Wait, Yanni. All right. Well, you want to conclude? Yo, Shinra, I'm sure like everyone thinks you won. You want to conclude?
Yeah. Can y'all unmute my friend Shiki up, bro, please?
Bro. Oh yeah, unmute Shikio. I love Shikio. I'm gonna fuck you. Yeah, B1 is determined by I, right? The rule 1 allows inferring practical safety is experience meets or exceeds threshold.
Unmute BB.
That's analytic. The rule 2 ensures that if practical safety is safe, experience must be at least BI. That's analytic. And so yeah,
please unmute my friend Kage, please.
That's just the formalization for the decision theoretic idea. Action on uncertainty.
Give me a second.
Oh my God. Are you my God? That you
concluding or not?
No. Wait. Yes. Wait, did you end the rec?
We got the 1 year on.
Yeah, I got the rec. I got both of them.
Okay.
We got the one nigga on, bro. Oh fuck.
All right, perfect, bro. Shimmer definitely responded to everything, bro. Shimmer did so well in this conversation. He definitely just didn't shallow box and not understand anything I was arguing for. But yeah, Shimmer, can we make amends, bro? Can we make peace between the syndicates, bro? Please, bro. I don't want this.
I don't get why people like Shinra.
Fuck this nigga syndicate, bro. What the fuck? This nigga syndicate is the last syndicate I'm cool with, man. What the fuck?
Wait, bro. This debate. This nigga has like a giant spider in his room, bro. Look at this tarantula, bro, in his room, bro. Look at this shit, bro.
Dirty ass.
Look at this monster in his room, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey. Yo, Shinra, bro, can we end the syndicate beef, bro? Can we end the syndicate wars, bro? Please, bro.
Man, fuck you, Shinra, you stupid ass bitch.
Hey, make a poll. Should I spare the British syndicate or should I rape everyone?
No.
Okay, wait, Tron, wait.
No, Shiki, that means you're gonna be.
Wait. Brisson, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I'm looking at the poll, right, and I'm seeing that Shinra is winning with 8 votes.
Are you retarded? It says 62.
No, nigga.
No, Shinra.
Poll right now.
No, Shiki.
I'm looking at the poll.
Shiki, break the pause, nigga. Shiki, break the pause now! I need these votes. You don't understand.
Wait, I can't vote.
Wait, you're a nigger.
Nigga, it's
exactly. Look, it's Shinra with 8 votes.
Yeah, man, Shinra's winning, nigga.
Chat, is this the end of the British syndicates?
It's not.